I can see the chain extending. My child is next in a line that has no ending. So here am I, feeling a life that her child will feel when I'm long gone. Yes, all that was is part of me, and I am part of what's to be, and thus it is our story goes on and on and on and on and on.
I wonder what he'll think of me. I guess he'll call me the old man. I guess he'll think I can lick every other feller's father. Well, I can. I bet that he'll turn out to be the spitting image of his dad. But he'll have more common sense than his pudding-headed father ever had. I'll teach him to wrestle and dive through a wave when we go in the mornings for our swim. His mother can teach him the way to behave, but she won't make a sissy out of him. Not him, not my boy, not Bill. Bill, it's a good name, yeah. My boy Bill, I will see that he's named after me. I will. My boy Bill, he'll be tall and as tough as a tree. Well, Bill, like a tree, he'll grow with his head held high and his feet planted firm on the ground. And you won't see nobody dare to try to boss him or toss him around. No fat-bottom, flabby-faced bully will boss him around. And I don't give a damn what he does, as long as he does what he likes. He could sit on his tail or work on a rail with a hammer and spikes. He could ferry a boat on a river, or pedal a pack on his back, or work up and down the streets of a town with a whip and a horse and a hack. He could haul a scow along a canal, run a cow around a corral, or maybe bark for a carousel. Of course, it takes talent to do that well. He might be the champ of the heavyweights, or a fella as sells you clue, or president of the United States. That'd be all right too. His mother liked that, but he wouldn't be president unless he wanted to be. Not Bill. My boy Bill, he'll be tall and as tough as a tree. Well, Bill, like a tree, he'll grow with his head held high and his feet planted firm on the ground. And you won't see nobody dare to try to boss him or toss him around. No fat-bottom, flabby-faced, pot-belly, baggy-eyed bastard will boss him around. And I'm damned if he marries his boss's daughter, a skinny-lipped virgin with blood like water, who give him a peck and call it a kiss and stared his eyes through a lorgnette. Say, why am I so taken on like this? My kid ain't even been born yet. I can see him when he's 17 or so, and starting in to go with a girl. I could give him lots of pointers, very sound, on the way to get round any girl. I could tell him, oh, wait a minute. Could it be? What the hell? What if he is a girl? Bill! What would I do with her? What could I do for a bum with no money? You can have fun with a son, but you gotta be a father to a girl. She mightn't be so bad at that. A kid with ribbons in her hair, a kind of neat and petite little tintype of her mother. What a pearl! My little girl, pink and white as peaches and cream is she. My little girl is half again as bright as girls are meant to be. Dozens of boys pursue her, many a likely lad does what he can to woo her from her faithful dad. She has a few pink and white young fellers of 2 and 3, but my little girl gets hungry every night, and she comes home to me. My little girl, I gotta get ready before she comes. I gotta make certain that she won't be dragged up in slums with a lot of bums like me. She's gotta be sheltered and fed and dressed in the best that money can buy. I never know how to get money, but I'll try, by God, I'll try. I'll go out and make it, or steal it, or take it, or die.
più. Sento la mano tua stanca, cerca i miei riccioli d'or. Sento la voce ti manca, la ninna nanna d'allor. Oggi la testa tua bianca, io voglio stringere al cor. Mamma, solo per te la mia canzone vola. Mamma, sarai con me, tu non sarai più sola. Quanto ti voglio bene, queste parole d'amore che ti sospira il mio cuore, forse non s'usano più. Mamma, ma la canzone mia più bella sei tu la vita, e per la vita non ti lascio mai più. Mamma, mamma.
Hi, my name is Amy, and this is my daughter Samantha that we just adopted 2 months ago. We were paired with Samantha's mom in October, and we were told that her due date was going to be February 8th. So on Christmas, when we were in Colorado, and they called us to tell us that mom was in labor, we were very worried because it was way too soon. They tried sending mom home a few times, but baby was ready to come. So 6 weeks and 5 days early, Samantha came out, and we were very glad because we were very eager to meet her. And at the beginning, when the babies come out and they're 4.4 pounds, they get rushed right to the NICU. And they really don't know what to do or what's going on, and it's all a matter of time. So we had to wait. But one of the first things that they came in to give us was a form to sign for donor milk for the baby. Because one of the things that they knew right out of the gates was that the most important thing for Sam was for her to get breast milk. And since we didn't have any access to it, Dr. Gregor Alexander at the Winnie Palmer Hospital directed us to the Orlando Milk Bank. So thanks to the Orlando Milk Bank, Sam is now drinking 4 out of her 8 bottles of donor breast milk. And we think it's so wonderful because we have family members that are sick and things that you can't do when it comes to your health. And we are so fortunate that when it comes to Sam's health, we are able to have donor breast milk to give her those antibodies and protect her from things in the future. So if there's anything that I can say, it's really important that for her to have the donor milk. And like I said, it's really great that we can actually have something that we can pay for to help our health. And luckily, Sam is getting that. So thank you so much.
Hello. I'm Lane Petrino. I'm a neonatal nurse practitioner. I started out in the NICU about 12 years ago, first as a bedside nurse, and then I went on to become a neonatal nurse practitioner, and now I work with the medical team on the other side, taking care of the babies. And I'm so glad Mr. Owens brought up how little is known about breast milk, because it's very, very true. Most people don't know hardly anything about breast milk, and let alone the number of people out of that know that breast milk can be donated is very, very small. But one of the first things you'll find out once you go into the NICU, whether you're a parent or you're a provider, is how important breast milk is to these tiny babies. And it's so important that we treat it like a medicine. It's like a vaccine. It's a science. It's a religion in the NICU. Breast milk. It's all about breast milk. We strive to give it to all of our babies, but most importantly, especially to the tiniest babies and most fragile. And this is where donor milk can come in for the moms who can't pump enough, or like Samantha, for moms who have adopted babies, or for moms who've sadly passed away or are too sick. So it's no surprise that with my first baby, I knew I was going to breastfeed. Absolutely. What did surprise me was how much I loved it. It was an amazing experience. The bond was incredible, and I was lucky to have plenty of milk the first time around, until I went back to work. And working in the intensive care unit, I'm sure you can imagine, it's very busy and it's hard to get away to pump. And so within a couple months of going back to work, my supply had dropped, and so had my daughter's weight. And so I immediately went out and did everything I could. I took herbs, I rented a hospital-grade breast pump, pumped around the clock, and it was a small miracle that we made it to 14 months of breastfeeding. And then 2 years later came my second little girl, and I was again blessed with an abundant supply of milk right from the bat, and this time I was determined to protect it. So when I went back to work, I made sure to pump around the clock, very early, often, and I was blessed to have more than she even needed. So I had hoped to donate breast milk with my first and was unable to. And then with my second, I was really happy to finally be able to give back to the community of babies that I had fallen in love with 10 years ago. So Paige and I donated 300 ounces of her breast milk, and at that point, I really felt a kinship to these moms who had not been able to make enough for their babies, because I felt like I had been in their shoes at one point. In the years since I worked in the NICU and I have become a mother, I've really developed a passion for breast milk and for breastfeeding. It's something that people don't tend to know a lot about, and so I try to educate as many people as I come across. I'm now the board chair of the Mother's Milk Bank of Florida. I've been a part of it for about 4 years now, and I really wish every mother and baby could know the joy of breastfeeding, but for those that can't or can't make enough, I'm really happy to say that the Mother's Milk Bank of Florida is here to support them, and I really thank you for coming out to support us today. Thank you.
to dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered in scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable stars. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered in scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
Richard mentioned earlier that I have two children. I have two little girls, and my babies, whom I did have the privilege of breastfeeding, and I did not know about this organization, so truly what you guys do is close to my heart. My babies are now 12 and 16, but so they're not so little anymore, but I used to sing this song for them at bedtime. So for this afternoon, this song is specifically for all those babies who benefit from the great service that you guys provide, and for their moms who get to watch them grow because of what you provide. Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. Sleep tight, my love. The stars are shining their brightest light. For good night, my someone. Good night. Sweet dreams be yours, dear. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. For good night, my someone, good night. True love can be whispered from heart to heart. When lovers are parted, they say, but I must depend on a wish and a star, as long as my heart doesn't know who you are. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. For good night, my love, for good night. Good night. Good night.
Hi, my name's Linda Califf, and I'm the program director at the Mother's Milk Bank of Florida. I want to thank you all for coming out today and sharing some of your Sunday afternoon with us, listening to this marvelous entertainment. I have to tell you, I'm astounded that these professional people are taking what little bit of free time they might have out of their weekend to come and entertain us. I also have to thank Mr. Owens, because he put this concert together to benefit the Mother's Milk Bank of Florida. For those of you that don't know Mr. Owens, he's a prince of a man, an absolute prince. Now, there's some of you out there that this is the first time you've ever even heard about saving breast milk, putting it in a bank to save babies. And then there's a few of you out there that have known of a baby or have a baby that was in an intensive care unit and received this life-saving milk. And their baby grew up and got strong and was able to go home. And then there's a few of you out here today that actually donated some of your own breast milk to our bank to help save a baby you'll never meet. And then there's my family and friends out there that have heard more than they want to know about milk banking. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the things you don't know and where the funds that we received today, how they'll be used. What you don't know is there are many, many babies in intensive care units and home that are desperate for pasteurized donor human milk, but they have no access to it because of the processing costs involved. A few examples are there are babies that are born into an intensive care unit. They're born very premature, but they weigh a little more than 3 pounds, so they don't qualify to get this donor milk. They have to have formula. There are babies that have been in an intensive care unit in the state of Florida for months, and they've survived an insidious bacterial disease called NEC. Some of them have had their small intestine removed, but they've grown and gotten stronger and gained weight and been able to go home from the intensive care unit healthy. But they have no more access to this milk. And what about the babies that are born to mothers that have had breast cancer and have had mastectomies, and they cannot produce milk for their baby? And babies that have been adopted, like Amy's, premature babies that have been adopted that don't have access to breast milk. We have babies that have gone through critical surgeries on their heart and on their gut and intestine, and they're not doing well, they're not recovering well. They don't have access to this milk. And then we have babies at home that are on formula, and they've been diagnosed as failure to thrive. That means that they're not gaining any weight, but most importantly, their brains aren't getting any nourishment, and their brains aren't growing, and the synapses aren't forming, and they're not firing, and they're never going to be able to compete in school if they survive. So the funds that we have are going to get today, 100% of them are going to be used to start a financial assistance program called the Babies at Home Outpatient Milk Program. And they'll be used to help families all throughout our state that have a desperate need for this milk but can't afford it. One of the things that you need to know is we need to make sure that the milk we send out to these hospitals is 100% safe for these tiny, fragile patients. So every donor that's going to donate to our bank is screened intensively. And then we send her to a blood bank, like One Blood, and she has her blood tested to be sure that it's okay and safe. We then send FedEx couriers to her house to pick up the frozen milk and deliver it overnight to us at the bank. Once her milk is delivered to the bank, we analyze it for fat content, protein, and lactose. We also send a small sample of that milk out to a lab to be microbiology tested for bacteria. We then combine 2 or 3 mothers' milk together to get the highest protein and fat and lactose content we possibly can for these little teeny tiny micro-preemie babies. Then we pasteurize the milk. After it's pasteurized, we send a sample of that milk off to a microbiology lab to be cultured again, once again, for bacteria. We wait until the lab report comes back, and only if the lab report says that milk is 100% safe do we distribute it to the intensive care units throughout the state. When we started trying to open a milk bank back in 2012 and 13 and 14, and we were raising funds or begging for money, we struggled to remain independent. We wanted to stay a community bank and not be owned by a private company or hospital. The reason for that is we wanted to be able to remain true to our one single purpose, providing pasteurized donor milk to all babies in need in our state, with no one telling us who could get it or who couldn't get it. Our goal in the future for our bank is to have the largest financial assistance program in the country so that we never have to turn a baby away or a family away because of cost. We have another fundraiser coming up. It's in a month, and all that money is going to go also to the Mother's Milk Bank to establish our fund, Babies at Home. It's April 23rd. It's at Harbor Park in Baldwin Park. So for those of you that are energetic and like to get up early in the morning and walk around a beautiful lake, you'll have to come join us. You'll be able to register for it downstairs in the hall when we all meet with Carrie. And I hope when you leave today that you'll tell some of your friends and your family what we say at the milk bank every day. Hey, today we saved a baby. Thanks.
Show them where we put this money. You see the box here. We still kept it over from Christmas because we didn't want to waste any paper. And yeah, we got 2 of them. So, and we will have it as you go out the door or as you go downstairs to the reception. And we urge you to be generous. And we thank you again for coming. And we thank our wonderful artists, and they'll take a bow after this. But first, one of the most beautiful pieces in music theater is this Sunrise Sunset, which is the other end of the scale of The Story Goes On. So they'll sing that for us now, and we thank you all very much for being here.
Is this the little girl I carried? Is this the little boy at play?
get to be a beauty? When did he grow to be so tall? Wasn't it yesterday when they were small? Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly fly the days. Seedlings turn overnight to sunflowers, blossoming even as we gaze. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly fly the years, one season following another, laden with happiness and tears. Now is the little boy a bridegroom? Now is the little girl a bride? Under the canopy I see them side by side.
Place the gold ring upon her finger. Taste the sweet wine and break the glass. Soon the full circle will have come to pass.
Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly fly the days. Seedlings turn overnight to sunflowers, blossoming even as we gaze. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset,